I'm not gonna lie, I love the new light, except I feel like it makes very clear that it wasn't bad lighting. I just am perpetually shitty looking. I wonder if this is how like porn stars felt when HD became a thing. Hey y'all, I'm Stephanie and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm doing my February wrap up and it's gonna be pretty short because I didn't read that much in February, to be honest. So what happened was in February I read absolutely no books for the first half of the month. It was the 12th, I think, when the Contemporaryathon round 2 started. And the first book that I read for Contemporaryathon was the first book that I read for the month. And that was Love, Hate, and Other Filters. That book was really great. I talked about it in my Contemporaryathon vlogs. I was gonna daily vlog. I had good intentions. I swear I tried. The next book that I read was Dress Codes for Small Towns by Courtney Stevens. This book was absolutely amazing and I'm mad at myself for not reading it sooner, to be honest. Also talked about the, like all of these books I talked about in my Contemporaryathon vlogs, like all 2 or 3 of them that I did. So you can just go watch those. I'm not gonna repeat myself, for real. Also for Contemporaryathon, I read The Best We Could Do. It was a graphic memoir, again with the vlogs. And the last book that I read for Contemporaryathon was Dear Martin by Nick Stone. That book was absolutely amazing and I recommend it to everyone. You should read it. Just do it. Go watch me cry about it in my vlog. So those were the only books that I read. I had, my TBR was like 8 books long and I only got through those, what was that, 4? I only got about half of my Contemporaryathon TBR done because about halfway through the Contemporaryathon I caught a really bad stomach flu and could not read. I even tried listening to audiobooks and it just wasn't happening. Like I just couldn't. I'll spare you the details, but it was not pretty. I was a little disappointed, but then after Contemporaryathon, my reading slump kicked back in because I don't know, maybe I thought a readathon would help. It didn't. I did finish 2 more books. I listened to the audiobook of They Both Die at the End, and also I am going to count it for February even though I have like a quarter of the book left. I'm also listening to the audiobook of Furiously Happy as well. And let's see, They Both Die at the End. I wanted to give a 3.5 stars, and you guys know that I usually round up on Goodreads, but I didn't like it enough to give it a 4. Like, it was a solid 3.5. It wasn't a 4. So I actually rounded down this time and gave it a 3, but it was enjoyable. It was really funny because I was listening to the audiobook. I had to go to Dallas to visit my sister for one of my niece's birthdays, and I was listening to it on the way back and got to the end and I was just sitting in the passenger seat like crying my eyeballs out, not like heaving sobs or anything, but just, you know, like a steady stream of tears. And my mom kept like side-eyeing me. She's like, "Are you okay?" And I was like, she said, "Are you crying about a book?" And I was like, "Yeah." And she said, she kind of gave me a face and I said, "The book is called They Both Die at the End." And she looked at me as serious as could be and was like, "Why would you read that?" And then I finished that before we actually made it home, so I went ahead and got on Overdrive and picked up Furiously Happy. And like I said, I'm about 3/4 of the way through it and I really enjoyed, what is her name? Jenny Lawson. I really enjoyed her first book. I'm gonna double check that so that I don't sound like a fucking idiot. I really enjoyed her first book. I read it back when it came out. I have the paperback somewhere. Is it on this shelf? Is it one of my books that mysteriously disappeared in my 4,000 moves? I don't know. I mean, like, I like this one as well. It's nice to see someone being completely honest and open about their mental health issues and to sort of like encourage other people that may have, what is that? sort of encourage other people that may have problems in their own life, just to let them know that like it's not the end of the world. There are ways to handle it, and it may not be like the right way to do it, but it's kind of like whatever works for you. Yeah. So, and also, you know, with humor, which is how I handle everything in my life. So that brings my book count total to 6 for the month of February, which at first when I was like, oh, I can't believe I only read 6 books, it's still, like, that's a pretty average month for me, I would say. Last month was astounding. Like, what the fuck? I read 12 books last month. That was wild and clearly not the norm. 6 is pretty average. To be honest, I've just been in a really bad reading slump, and it was not helpful that I learned about a thing called the Pokemon Nuzlocke Challenge. So I've been binging like a lot of Nuzlocke Let's Plays the last month, for real. But I've kind of wrapped up all those, and now, like, I went to the bookstore. I'm gonna have a haul coming shortly where you can see all the books that I bought in the last couple of weeks, because it's, you know, when you're coming out of a reading slump and you can tell that you're coming out of it because you start like getting really excited about the books that you're buying. Like, I don't know if you're like me and you treat your reading slump with some retail therapy, but that's definitely what I did. I've been watching a lot of booktube videos the last few days. I went to the bookstore last night. I went to the bookstore, like I went to 4 different bookstores in Little Rock last week, and that's when I was like, maybe this is it. Maybe this slump is ending. And sure enough, like, I haven't decided if I'm gonna do a haul or if I'm just gonna do like a full-on like TBR shelf video. I don't know. We'll figure it out together. Okay. Great. Wow. Wow. Yes. Okay. 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 I will see you guys soon. Bye, y'all.